Welcome to Animal Rescue Postmortem, where we analyze animal rescue videos from around the world, breaking down techniques, outcomes, and the critical decisions that make these rescues succeed or fail. Hosted by Chief Carmack, who holds certifications in multiple technical rescue specialties and has over 40 years of experience in human and animal rescue. Get ready for an insightful look at these life-saving operations.
Volume 10, video number 5, we have a textbook case of horse rescue here. This is how we train to do these kind of incidents, and there's nothing to add to this other than I want you to see how it's supposed to be done. This video is absolutely fantastic. It's about 6 minutes, and we're just going to get right to it here. They do everything the way you're supposed to. This is what current training standards meet. This guy here on the left that's leaning on the horse, he's a veterinarian. He has delivered sedation to the animal, and they're trying to they're formulating more of their plan here while they wait for the sedation to take effect on this horse. And so you can see they've got a spine board that they are putting down in this ditch here so that they can have some kind of footing. I don't think that's a spine board. That looks like a modern plastic Stokes type litter. And then they're going to use this strap grabber here that feeds under an animal so it's flat and it can slide up under there. There's also a thing called a Nicopolis needle. I'll flash these things up on the screen here. And they're going to use those to feed the sling under the animal. Now, you're going to see this here, and I think there must be a slight gap under this horse here, because one of the most difficult things you'll find to try and do out in the field is to, and then watch this. Okay, now that just links right on to that strap puller there, or strap puller, that sling puller. And alright, once they determine that they're ready, they start pulling that under there. And that sling puller there is like a flat strap of metal. And then this can be surprisingly difficult to do. Is get that under the horse and then move it under the body when they are like mucked up in mud or caught down in sand. It can be surprisingly difficult. But you can see you want that sort of flexible. But you see how it's not just pulling straight through there. This person here is putting some effort to feed that through. Just want to take a brief moment out of your video time here. Hope you're enjoying it. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe over on the YouTube channel there. It's really important that you do that. Go over to our website, check it out. I know you'll find some useful information over there, and don't forget that everything that we do is supported totally by your donations, your generosity, your love for animals. All right, let's get back to the video. And then once they get it in place, he can feed it over there. And that's a proper use of a hook. You can use your a boat hook, you can use a pike pole, but you want to use something so you can stay out of that danger zone that I always talk about in other videos. Wherever the legs are, that's the place that you don't want to be. Notice everyone's on the spinal or the back side of the horse here. And I'm sorry, this VLC, CL player, whatever, it always covers the bottom of the screen whenever I'm pointing with the pointer, which is just so irritating. I don't know why people like that thing. And you can see over there on the right where the yellow, you can see that yellow bar, that's a spreader bar to use with these slings. Now we've got the crane on site. I do have a little bit of concerns about that crane being in the location that it is. That boom may not have that much of a reach. But there's always the concern with stability of the ground that's around you there when you're pushing down on the edges like those outriggers are on that crane unit, or whatever they call it in the UK. Now, okay, they've lifted it up fully there. I forgot. They've got guiding webbing there to help keep it from spinning around. They're lifting it up on that boom. Now they brought in what's called a rescue glide here in the U.S. to put down under the horse. They're going to lay it down on there for recovery, and then I'm certain that the veterinarian has I'm certain that the veterinarians put an antagonist in there on board so that we can use use a reversal agent. That way this horse can get up and walk off on its own here, instead of having to use that glide to move it around on. If we can get it to recover there, then that's what we want to. We want to do that as quickly as possible, if possible, instead of having to haul it down somewhere. If it can get out and walk out on its own, just like humans, we want to take the path of least resistance here. Yeah, what a nice setup this team has. It's just absolutely fantastic. So now we're coming to the recovery part. The thing I think I would do differently here is not put the horse on that rescue glide. If the horse was going to be hauled out, then put him on there and haul him out on it. But these things can be very slippery. So I'm not sure I would have wanted the horse to recover on it. In case it tried to stand up on that and it would lose its footing. And happily ever after. Shropshire, however you pronounce that, the UK Fire Department and your technical rescue team. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic textbook way to do this rescue. This is fantastic. I can't say good enough about that. This rescue that we just watched is exactly how it's supposed to be done. Alright, that's it.